there's a version of this story where Cristiano Ronaldo never makes it, where a boy from a small island grows up in a cramped house, runs out of chances, and disappears before the world ever learns his name, where the heart problem ends everything before it begins, where homesickness pulls him back to Madeira, and football becomes just another dream that didn't survive reality. That version was possible, but it didn't happen. Cristiano Ronaldo was born in Funchal, Madeira, the youngest of 4 children, in a family that had very little to spare. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood, in a small house, where football was more than a game. It was the one place where hunger, noise, and struggle could disappear for a while. His father worked around the game. His mother worked to keep the family going. And Ronaldo, even as a child, had something people noticed immediately. He never stopped running, never stopped chasing, never stopped believing he was meant for something bigger. Then came the first real threat. At 15, doctors found a heart condition serious enough to require surgery. For a kid whose entire future depended on speed, stamina, and football, it could have been the end. But Ronaldo recovered quickly and went straight back to the game, as if fear had no right to stay in the room with him. And that was the pattern of his life. Every time something tried to slow him down, he answered by working harder. As a teenager, he left Madeira and moved into sporting system, far from home, far from comfort, and far from certainty. He wasn't a star yet. He was just a boy, betting everything on one impossible idea. That sacrifice now could become greatness later. By 2003, after a breakout rise in Portugal, Manchester United signed him. And from there, the world stopped asking who he was and started asking how far he could go. At first, he was electric, but raw, fast feet, flash, confidence. But what made Ronaldo different was not talent alone. It was obsession. He didn't just want to be good enough. He wanted to outwork everyone, to improve every weakness, to turn flair into end product, skill into numbers, potential into proof. And he did. Manchester made him a star. Real Madrid made him immortal. The goals came in impossible volumes. The trophies followed. The rivalry with Messi turned an era of football into a permanent global debate. Juventus added another chapter. Then came the return to Manchester, and later, Nassr, proof that even late in his career, the story still refused to sit still. But the reason people stay fascinated by Ronaldo isn't just the silverware, it's the relentlessness, because his story was never smooth. There was loss, there was criticism, there was pressure so public that most athletes would break under it. Ronaldo didn't get to skip pain. He just kept moving through it, kept training, kept scoring, kept turning doubt into fuel. And now, even this story is entering its final act. At the 2026 World Cup, Ronaldo said it himself, this would be his last one. At 41, playing in a record 6th World Cup, he was still making history, becoming the first man to score in 6 different World Cups, and extending a Portugal career that has already made him the men's all-time international scoring leader. That's what makes the story hit harder now. Not just the goals, not just the records, not just the trophies. It's the distance from where he started. From a small house in Madeira to the biggest stadiums in the world. From a boy recovering from heart surgery to a player still standing long after entire generations came and went. From a child with almost nothing to a name that became known everywhere.